Force yourself to be consistent. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. We all know that success doesn't come overnight. It's not about one big moment of brilliance or a single leap forward. It's about something much more subtle, yet incredibly powerful: consistency. Today, I want to talk to you about how to force yourself to be consistent and why it's the key to achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. Many of us set lofty goals, make grand resolutions, and dream of extraordinary achievements. But what happens when the initial excitement fades, when the enthusiasm wanes, and when the road gets tough? It's easy to fall off track and let distractions derail us. But here's the truth: consistency is the bridge between your dreams and reality. Without it, the best intentions fall apart, no matter how passionate we are. So, how do you force yourself to stay consistent, especially when you feel like giving up or when motivation fades? Let's explore that today and discover why consistency is the real secret to lasting success. The power of small, consistent actions. Consistency is the foundation of all great achievements. It's not about making massive leaps in a single day, but about the power of small, deliberate actions repeated over time. These small actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but their true value lies in their ability to compound and create extraordinary results. Consider this: if you commit to improving just 1% each day, by the end of a year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of consistency. It's the accumulation of effort, the daily grind, and the refusal to quit even when progress seems slow. Success is not built in a day, it's built daily. Each small step forward adds up, and before you know it, you've created something remarkable. Many people underestimate the importance of these small actions. They believe that success requires monumental changes or dramatic efforts, and when they don't see immediate results, they lose motivation. But here's the truth: success is less about intensity and more about persistence. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't visible yet. Think of consistency as planting seeds in a garden. Each day you water them, even though you don't see anything sprouting right away. It takes time for the roots to grow and for the plants to break through the soil. But if you stay patient and keep nurturing those seeds, you'll eventually enjoy a bountiful harvest. On the other hand, if you stop watering the seeds because you don't see instant results, you'll never reap the rewards. This principle applies to every area of life, whether you're building a business, improving your health, or developing a skill. Consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Missing a day or making a mistake doesn't mean failure. What matters is that you keep going, picking up where you left off and staying committed to your goal. But how do you stay consistent, especially when motivation fades? The answer lies in creating habits that support your goals. Habits are the building blocks of consistency. When you establish routines that align with your objectives, you reduce the reliance on willpower and make consistency almost automatic. For example, if your goal is to exercise regularly, setting a specific time each day for your workouts and preparing your gear in advance removes the guesswork and makes it easier to follow through. It's also important to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Many people become discouraged because they're fixated on the end result, which can feel overwhelming or distant. Instead, shift your attention to the daily actions you need to take. Celebrate small wins along the way, and remind yourself that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Consistency requires discipline, but it also requires a clear understanding of your why. Why is your goal important to you? What's the deeper purpose driving your actions? When you connect your efforts to a meaningful purpose, it becomes easier to stay consistent, even when the journey gets tough. The power of small, consistent actions cannot be overstated. They are the building blocks of greatness, the foundation upon which all success is built. So start today. Take that first step, and then take another tomorrow, and the day after that. Trust in the process and remember that the rewards of consistency are worth every ounce of effort you invest. Discipline, the key to consistency. Consistency doesn't happen by accident. It requires a driving force, and that force is discipline. While motivation gets you started, it's discipline that keeps you going when the excitement fades or when challenges arise. Discipline is the ability to push yourself to take action, even when you don't feel like it. It's a skill that can be cultivated, and it is the cornerstone of any meaningful success. Many people misunderstand discipline, thinking it's about rigid control or depriving yourself of enjoyment. But in reality, discipline is a form of self-respect. It's about prioritizing your long-term goals over short-term distractions. It's the willingness to delay gratification and endure temporary discomfort in exchange for a greater reward down the road. Let's take a closer look at how discipline fuels consistency. Imagine you've set a goal to write a book. On the first day, you feel inspired and excited, so the words flow easily. But as the days pass, life gets in the way, and that initial excitement fades. This is where most people stop. They wait for motivation to return, not realizing that consistency isn't about waiting, it's about showing up every day, no matter what. Discipline is what makes you sit down to write even when you don't feel like it. It's what helps you create progress, one sentence at a time. Discipline is often seen as a natural trait, but the truth is, it's a skill that can be developed. It starts with small, intentional actions. For example, if you struggle to wake up early, start by setting your alarm 15 minutes earlier than usual and gradually build the habit. With practice, these small acts of discipline become second nature, making consistency easier to maintain. Another important aspect of discipline is creating systems that support your goals. For instance, if your goal is to exercise regularly, prepare your workout clothes the night before, schedule your workout time, and eliminate distractions. These systems reduce the need for willpower and make it easier to stay consistent. It's also crucial to shift your mindset about discipline. Instead of viewing it as a chore or restriction, see it as a tool for empowerment. When you practice discipline, you gain control over your actions and choices. You're no longer at the mercy of fleeting emotions or external circumstances. This sense of control builds confidence and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. But let's be honest, discipline isn't easy. There will be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or tempted to quit. On those days, remind yourself of your why. Why did you set this goal in the first place? What's the bigger purpose behind your efforts? Reconnecting with your purpose gives you the strength to keep going, even when the path feels difficult. One of the best ways to build discipline is to commit to non-negotiable actions. Decide in advance what you will do, no matter what. For example, if your goal is to read more, commit to reading 1 page every day. It may seem small, but the act of showing up consistently, even for a few minutes, reinforces the habit and strengthens your discipline. It's also important to celebrate small victories along the way. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you're reinforcing the habit of discipline. Acknowledge your progress and use it as motivation to keep going. Discipline is about freedom. It frees you from the regret of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. It allows you to create a life that aligns with your goals and values. While it requires effort and sacrifice in the short term, the rewards of disciplined growth, achievement, and self-respect are well worth it. Discipline is the bridge between intention and execution, between goals and results. By cultivating discipline, you give yourself the greatest gift, the ability to stay consistent and achieve the life you've always dreamed of. So embrace discipline and let it guide you toward your goals, one step at a time. Overcoming resistance to stay consistent. Staying consistent isn't easy, and one of the biggest obstacles we face is resistance. Resistance is that inner voice telling you to procrastinate, take a break, or quit altogether. It's the temptation to stay in your comfort zone instead of putting in the effort to move forward. However, the key to success lies in learning to recognize and overcome resistance, so it no longer has the power to derail your progress. Resistance shows up in many forms. It might be fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. It might appear as self-doubt, convincing you that you're not good enough or that your goals are out of reach. Or it could manifest as distractions, where you find yourself drawn to things that offer instant gratification but take you further away from your long-term goals. The first step to overcoming resistance is awareness. You need to identify the moments when resistance creeps in and acknowledge its presence. For example, when you're about to start a task but suddenly feel the urge to scroll through social media or watch TV, that's resistance. When you think about working on your goals but feel overwhelmed or anxious, that's resistance too. Awareness allows you to separate yourself from these feelings and see them for what they are: temporary roadblocks, not permanent barriers. One effective way to combat resistance is to break tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Often, resistance arises because a task feels too big or intimidating. By focusing on one small step at a time, you reduce the overwhelm and make it easier to get started. For instance, if you're trying to write a book, don't think about the entire project. Instead, commit to writing just one paragraph or even one sentence. Once you begin, momentum often takes over and you find it easier to keep going. Another strategy is to create a routine that minimizes decision-making. Resistance thrives on indecision and hesitation. When you have a set routine, you eliminate the need to decide whether or not to act. It becomes automatic. For example, if you're trying to build a workout habit, choose a specific time and place for your workouts each day. By sticking to this routine, you reduce the mental energy spent on deciding and increase your chances of staying consistent. It's also important to challenge the negative thoughts that resistance brings. When you hear that inner voice telling you that you're tired, too busy, or not good enough, respond with logic and self-compassion. Remind yourself of your capabilities and the progress you've already made. Replace self-doubt with empowering affirmations such as, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "Every small step I take brings me closer to success." Accountability can also play a powerful role in overcoming resistance. When you share your goals with someone you trust or join a community of like-minded individuals, you create a support system that motivates you to stay on track. Knowing that others are rooting for you or holding you accountable can be a strong motivator to push through resistance and stay consistent. Embrace the discomfort that comes with pushing past resistance. Growth and progress often require stepping out of your comfort zone. Instead of avoiding discomfort, see it as a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Every time you face resistance and push through it, you build mental strength and resilience, making it easier to overcome challenges in the future. Resistance is a natural part of the journey toward success, but it doesn't have to hold you back. By becoming aware of its presence, breaking tasks into smaller steps, establishing routines, challenging negative thoughts, seeking accountability, and embracing discomfort, you can rise above resistance and maintain consistency. Remember, the battle against resistance is won not in grand moments of triumph, but in the small, everyday choices to keep going, no matter what. Building habits that anchor consistency. Consistency is not about willpower alone. In fact, willpower is a limited resource that fades throughout the day as you make decisions and face challenges. This is why building habits is one of the most effective ways to anchor consistency. Habits automate the actions needed to reach your goals, removing the mental strain of decision-making and making it easier to stay on track. But how do you build habits that last and truly support your desire for consistency? It begins with understanding the science of habits. Every habit is formed through a cycle of three key components: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit, the routine is the action you take, and the reward is the benefit you receive from completing the action. Mastering this cycle is the key to embedding habits into your daily life. Start small and stay focused. The biggest mistake people make when trying to build habits is starting too big or attempting to overhaul their lives overnight. For example, if you want to start exercising regularly but haven't been active for years, committing to an intense, hour-long workout every day is likely to lead to burnout. Instead, start small. Commit to just 5 minutes of exercise a day. Once this small action becomes a routine, you can gradually increase the time and intensity. Starting small not only makes the habit more manageable, but also helps you build confidence and momentum. Each time you successfully follow through on a habit, you reinforce your belief in your ability to be consistent. Over time, this sense of accomplishment creates a positive feedback loop, motivating you to keep going. Tie habits to existing routines. One of the easiest ways to establish new habits is to tie them to existing routines. This technique, known as habit stacking, involves linking your desired habit to something you already do regularly. For instance, if your goal is to read more, you could commit to reading for 10 minutes immediately after brushing your teeth in the morning. By associating the new habit with an existing one, you create a natural flow that makes it easier to remember and practice the habit consistently. Create an environment that supports your habits. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your habits. If your surroundings are filled with distractions or obstacles, staying consistent becomes much harder. For example, if you want to focus on work but your phone is constantly buzzing with notifications, it's easy to get sidetracked. To set yourself up for success, design an environment that supports your goals. If your goal is to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove junk food from sight. If you want to write daily, create a dedicated workspace free from distractions. By making it easier to engage in positive habits and harder to indulge in negative ones, you increase your chances of staying consistent. Track your progress. Tracking your habits is another powerful way to build consistency. When you monitor your actions, you gain insight into your progress and identify patterns that can help you improve. For example, keeping a journal or using a habit tracking app allows you to see how often you're following through on your commitments. This visual representation of your progress serves as a motivator and a reminder to stay on track. Celebrating milestones is also an important part of tracking your habits. Each small win, whether it's completing a week of daily workouts or sticking to your budget for a month, reinforces your commitment and boosts your confidence. Celebrate these achievements as evidence that consistency works and that you're capable of sticking to your goals. Plan for obstacles. No matter how well you prepare, there will be times when life gets in the way. Stress, unexpected events, or a lack of motivation can derail even the best laid plans. To maintain consistency, it's essential to plan for obstacles and develop strategies to overcome them. For example, if you know that your evenings are often busy, schedule your workouts in the morning when you have more control over your time. If you tend to lose focus when working on a big project, break it into smaller tasks and set clear deadlines for each one. By anticipating challenges and creating solutions in advance, you minimize their impact and stay consistent even when things don't go as planned. Focus on identity, not just outcomes. The most powerful way to build habits and anchor consistency is to shift your focus from outcomes to identity. Instead of thinking about what you want to achieve, think about who you want to become. For example, instead of saying, "I want to lose weight," say, "I am someone who values my health." Instead of saying, "I want to write a book," say, "I am a writer." When you align your habits with your identity, consistency becomes a natural extension of who you are. Every time you follow through on a habit, you reinforce that identity and strengthen your commitment to your goals. For instance, if you see yourself as a disciplined person, skipping a workout or procrastinating on a task feels out of alignment with your identity, making it easier to stay consistent. Building habits that anchor consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and trusting that the small actions you take will add up over time. By starting small, tying habits to existing routines, creating a supportive environment, tracking your progress, planning for obstacles, and focusing on identity, you can build a foundation of habits that keep you consistent and propel you towards success. Reaping the rewards of consistency over time. Consistency is the bridge between setting goals and achieving them. It's not about short bursts of intense effort, but about steady, sustained progress over time. When you commit to being consistent, you activate the principle of compound growth, where small, seemingly insignificant actions accumulate to create monumental results. The rewards of consistency are transformative, and they touch every aspect of your life, your goals, mindset, relationships, and even your self-worth. The first reward of consistency is progress. At the beginning of any journey, the results may feel small or invisible. This can be discouraging, and it's why many people give up before they see the payoff. But those who stick with it, day after day, eventually experience the magic of momentum. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds on the last. Over time, those tiny steps compound into giant leaps, turning your once distant dreams into tangible realities. For example, consider someone who commits to reading 10 pages of a book every day. At first, it might not seem like much, but by the end of the year, they'll have read over 3,600 pages, the equivalent of 10 or more books. The same principle applies to any goal, whether it's saving money, learning a skill, or improving your health. Consistency turns effort into achievement. Another reward of consistency is mastery. The more consistently you practice something, the better you become at it. Talent might give you a head start, but it's consistent practice that transforms raw potential into refined skill. Whether you're learning to play an instrument, write, or excel in your career, the secret to mastery lies in showing up and putting in the work, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Consistency also builds trust and credibility, both with others and with yourself. When you consistently deliver on your promises, people begin to see you as reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. This opens doors to new opportunities, strengthens relationships, and enhances your reputation. But perhaps even more importantly, consistency builds self-trust. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce your belief in your own ability to set goals and achieve them. This self-trust becomes the foundation for confidence and resilience, giving you the courage to tackle even bigger challenges. Consistency has a profound impact on your mindset. It teaches you patience and perseverance. In a world that often values instant gratification, consistency reminds you of the importance of playing the long game. It helps you focus on the process rather than obsessing over immediate results. This shift in mindset reduces stress and frustration, allowing you to approach your goals with a sense of calm and determination. Personal rewards. Consistency positively impacts your relationships. When you consistently show up for the people in your life by being present, supportive, and reliable, you strengthen the bonds of trust and connection. Consistency in communication, kindness, and effort creates a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, leading to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Consistency also influences how others perceive you as a leader or role model. When you embody consistency, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your actions demonstrate the value of perseverance and dedication, motivating others to stay committed to their own goals. One of the most powerful rewards of consistency is the ability to overcome challenges and setbacks. Life is unpredictable and obstacles are inevitable. But when you build the habit of consistency, you develop the resilience to keep going, even in the face of adversity. Consistency gives you the tools to navigate difficulties, adapt to change, and stay focused on your long-term vision. Consistency leads to fulfillment. Achieving your goals is rewarding, but the process of working toward them is equally valuable. Consistency allows you to experience the satisfaction of knowing that you're doing your best every day. It gives you a sense of purpose and direction, reminding you that your efforts matter and that you're capable of creating the life you desire. The rewards of consistency are not immediate, but they are lasting. They require patience, persistence, and faith in the process. Every small action you take today brings you one step closer to your dreams. So keep going. Trust that the work you're putting in will pay off in ways you can't yet imagine. Consistency is more than a strategy, it's a way of life. It's about choosing to show up, even when it's hard, and believing in the power of your daily efforts. Over time, those efforts compound, creating results that exceed your expectations and transforming not just your goals, but also who you are. Embrace the rewards of consistency and watch as your life begins to change in extraordinary ways. Thank you.